Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Seattle, Washington, please welcome Charles, everybody.
I'm Charlie. Together we are Charles. It's great to be performing in Milwaukee, the Harvard of the Midwest, right?
Take that, Harvard. Sick burn.
Yeah, no, it's very good performing in Milwaukee, but in general this summer, because a lot of this past spring was spent in development. We were in Atlanta, the ATL.
The Milwaukee of the South.
We're in Atlanta developing a new cartoon show for the Cartoon Network.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. We think it's got a great shot getting picked up. Our manager's been talking to some folks. We think, well, actually, do you guys want to hear the pitch?
Yeah. You don't want to hear the pitch.
You guys want to hear the pitch?
Yeah. They don't want to hear the pitch.
You guys want to hear the pitch?
Wait, so here's the pitch. Picture a man smoking a pipe.
But not just any man, a maritime worker.
With a speech impediment and horribly disfigured forearm.
Now, because of a rare genetic disease similar in function to type 1 diabetes, this sailor man has terrible difficulty regulating his body's iron levels.
He can go through periods of debilitating weakness or superhuman strength depending on how much iron is in his system.
In that way, he could utilize his disease for, say, gorging himself on an obscene amount of spinach in a short period of time.
That might be useful if you want to bench press a car to show off, or maybe just punch an adversary into outer space. Anything like that.
Now, he's also got a girlfriend.
And she is ugly as fuck.
Way taller than him, has a huge nose, and is completely flat.
She also has a horrible high-pitched voice and her own genetic disease that causes her bones to partially liquefy during periods of high stress.
So she might be like, and ours would be functionally gelatinous.
This show is going to need a villain, and that villain is vaguely Slavic.
And in every episode, this Russian-y guy subdues our hero and kidnaps his girlfriend because presumably he's a rapist.
Just when it seems that all hope is lost, our hero is somehow able to gorge himself on an obscene amount of spinach, break free, beat that Russian rapist nearly to death, and thereby reclaim his ugly girlfriend.
And we're thinking of calling it Pipey, the overly violent sailor with an odd series of genetic diseases. Don't steal it.
Please don't steal it. But if you know any of the Warner brothers, Joel Warner, Ethan Warner, Time Warner, there's a lot. Feel free to really go to bat for these. All right. So thank you for bearing with us on that. We're now going to begin the sketch show. But first, one thing we like to do with performers is make sure that you, the audience, are on our side.
Right. One of the things we've learned in our 50-plus years of performing sketch comedy is that it's important to build a rapport with your audience and then adapt your material based on their sensibilities.
Right. If you fail to do that and then you offend those sensibilities, they will turn on you like that. And we don't want that. Not tonight. Not in Milwaukee. Not in the Harvard of the Midwest. So, in the interest of building a rapport with all of you, we thought we'd start tonight's show with a little icebreaker game.
Now, some of you may have noticed that before the show, I was in the lobby handing out slips of paper, and I asked a few of you to write down a fact about yourself that not a lot of people know.
And now we're going to go through, we're going to read some of those pieces of paper. It's sort of a fun way to learn something about the audience without putting anybody on the spot. So, all right, let's go ahead. First piece of paper.
I am a sex offender.
That's terrible. I guess we have a terrible person in the audience.
Yeah, and just to be clear, whoever wrote this, I don't know if your neighbors are also at this show. This absolutely does not qualify as notifying them that you are a sex offender.
But it is a good reminder for the rest of us. Unfortunately, statistically, a crowd this size, there could be one, maybe even two. But, let's forget about that. What else?
I am a sex offender.
So there's the second. So maybe you two scumbags can find each other after the show and swap NAMBLA Usenet handles. What else we got?
Charlie, all of these say I am a sex offender. Well, this one says I went to prom with my sister. But all the rest of these are sex offenders.
Okay, who's the prankster who filled out all of these?
No, look, Charlie, these are all different people. This is all different handwriting.
I guess we have a lot of sex offenders in the crowd tonight.
Hello, sex offender!
Glad to have you. Not sex offenders, you know?
Yeah!
Not my thing, but that's just because I can't help myself from having consensual sex with adults who are still alive. But hey, 2013, no judgment.
None whatsoever.
I mean, we're pretty hip. Some of our best friends are actually sex offenders.
Who?
Gary? Gary.
Oh, right. Well, he says he's not, but everybody knows. I mean, the only person who thinks Gary's not a sex offender is Gary. And not that there's anything wrong with that, you guys. All right. I mean, I won't let anyone near my nieces, but that's just because of cultural differences.
I don't let him look after my dog, but that's just because she's not his type.
Whoa! Whoa, Rick Santorum! All right, let's not go equating sex offense with bestiality. Nobody's buying that slippery slope bullshit.
You're right. I'm sorry, everyone. I did not mean to imply that. Wait, which direction is that slippery slope going? Also, is bestiality not a sex offense?
I don't want to get bogged down in semantics here, all right? The point is, we respect your customs. So, now that we're all comfortable with each other, let's start the sketch comedy show.
Right, so for this first sketch, we're going to need a volunteer from the audience. Jump right into it, so please stay where you are.
Well, Pipey. Now that you have been subdued, I will be having my way with your extremely ugly girlfriend.
You'll never get away with this, Bruto. You dirty, stupid rapist. They're not a race. They're rapists. So if anything, it's rapist.
Yeah, this whole pipey idea is pretty rapistist. You guys, I'm sorry, we were going to come out here and do this whole hilarious sketch about rape, but knowing what we know now, I think it would really offend a lot of you. We end up portraying rape in an incredibly negative way.
We ended up buying into a lot of, lazy stereotypes without really thinking about it. We owe you all a big apology.
Especially you, Gary.
Especially you, Gary.
Man, this is not going so well.
Well, cool, win back.
This is kind of like a performance nightmare here. It's an audience full of sex offenders, and we pissed them off 3 times now. I'm kind of freaking out, Charlie. This is not going to work. This is not going to work.
Wake up!
What was that for?
You're having a performance nightmare.
You idiot. You're the one who's dreaming.
What?
Mitch, wake up. Wake up, Mitch. You were having a nightmare.
Where am I?
You're on the bus. You're going to work.
Oh.
Man, are you all right? You were really out of it.
Oh, I haven't gotten any sleep in a week. My neighbor has this really yippy dog that just barks all night long. It's relentless. And it's unbelievable how high-pitched this dog's bark is. It sounds like it's barking with a chew toy in its mouth. I know that sounds insane, but I feel like I'm going insane.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I can relate though.
Oh yeah?
Haven't gotten much sleep myself this week.
Huh.
Turns out that outside my bedroom window, there's this portal to another dimension. Jesus Christ, man. The things I see through there are like... But so like, last night, there was this, well, I guess it looked like a squid, but its geometry had no discernible bounds. And it was somehow constantly devouring its own mother as she was giving birth. But the mother wasn't a squid. The mother was like a millipede, but like a endless writhing millipede occupying the collective psyche of mankind. It was indescribely horrific.
But anyway, this dog? It's a Pikachu, part Pekingese, part Chihuahua, part Poodle.
Man, that sucks. That actually reminds me of the other night when I accidentally saw my reflection in the portal. It was simultaneously me as an old man, me as a baby, and me as a rotting corpse, all at the same instant.
Yeah. Yeah, but the worst thing about this dog is that it's like for like 8 hours straight.
Man, I know what you mean with my portal. It's like all night long. And even though it only lasts for 8 hours, I experience it for the cross-dimensional equivalent of 3,000 years. Sucks about that dog.
Yeah.
You know, if you ever need a break, you can always come crash on my couch.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Although I guess it sounds like I should probably bring some bug spray. Right?
She cannot be killed! Take care, Mitch. All right, that was Ted Nugent with Cat Scratch Fever, wrapping up another 50 minutes of non-stop rock. We're gonna take a quick break, but keep... We're gonna take a quick break, but keep that dial tuned right here to the station that always gives you more rock, less talk. 106.9 The Bone. Well, well, well. TJ the DJ comes back to the Bone. What's it been, 18 years?
20.
So you're still dressing like an asshole?
He's still dressing like a dumbass.
I gotta say, it's good to see you. You know, I didn't think you'd ever step foot in a radio station again, not after what I heard happened in Baltimore.
I managed to escape unscathed.
You always did. So tell me, what brings you by 106.9 The Bone? Just looking to boost your classic rock street cred.
Actually, start a new job.
What? They're not bringing you back as a DJ, are they?
No. I'm the new station manager.
All right, boneheads, you're back with the Z, man. And coming up, we've got a classic track from Aerosmith, followed by a Tuesday twofer from the Doobie Brothers, on the station that always gives you more rock, less talk. 106.9 The Bone.
See, I know you're not happy about what happened back then.
Oh, the 9 a.m. compromise? I'd completely forgotten about it.
But I had another choice.
Sure, your hands.
Those traffic updates gave us critical mainstream support.
And you a lot more airtime.
It wasn't about me.
You know, when I think about it, the 9 a.m. compromise may have been the greatest deal in classic rock radio history. TJ's Crunch Report brought us critical mainstream acceptance, and those ad spots gave us a powerful corporate ally.
You know how influential Kessler's Diamonds is.
And all we had to give up was 1 hour
Be real, Z. We never could have held on to that power rush hour. People just weren't ready for that much rock with so little talk. The 9 a.m. compromise allowed us to bring back Get the Let Out Friday.
Another incremental step forward.
That's how change happens, Z. Look at it. In 96, the ratio of rock to talk was 3-to-1. Today, it's 5-to-1. And yes, someday, God willing, it will be infinity. But we can't change the system overnight. And by compromising, we live to fight another day. We survived.
Oh, sure, we survived. But what about all the loyal boneheads? They believed us when we said we'd rock them non-stop from the daily grind at 9 till drive time at 5. What about them?
I made the right call.
No, you made a promise! 20 years ago in this studio, you made a promise! More rock! Less talk! Since then, talk is all I've heard from you.
You know, Z, I had hoped that we could put the past behind us.
Oh, look, more talk.
That's not why I'm here.
Talk, talk, talk. What's this? Cross-promotional spots for a monster truck rally to be read during 2 for Tuesdays. No thanks, TJ, never again. I'm not going to read your spots. Give it up. Memo regarding potential transition of 106.9 The Bone to a new programming format. You coward. They're bluffing. Oh, what are they going to flip us to? With Hot 91 and Live 105, the dance vertical's saturated. We both know this city doesn't need another adult contempt broadcast, so maybe they can flip us to smooth jazz to complement the other 5 smooth jazz stations. You know, I can't believe What?
Talk radio.
Due to 106.9 The Bone's defiant insistence on playing an immoderate amount of rock relative to talk, the station directors have determined that they had no choice but to eliminate all rock programming, thereby converting 106.9 The Bone to an entirely talk format. All right, boneheads, you're back with the Z-Man, and 2 for Tuesdays continue with back-to-back blocks of Leonard Skinner and Journey on the station that always gives you more rock. Less talk. 106.9.
That's why I'm here, Z. They brought me in because they knew I was the only one who might be able to reason with you. It's a last attempt at finding common ground. You know, 20 years ago, TJ and the Z-Man on 106.9 The Bone had a dream. The world was so much rock and so little talk that simply by turning on the radio, a man was guaranteed to be hit with a blistering guitar solo or a thinly veiled metaphor about the female anatomy. Well, I got news for you, Z. We're never going to see that dream become a reality. But if we grow up and do the smart thing, maybe our children will. Train's leaving, Z-Man. Train along. Fellow graduates, this is a big moment for us. And as your valedictorian, it falls upon me to commemorate the moment with an inspiring and hopefully prescient graduation speech. But how do I do that? I don't know the future. Sure, I'm smart and my list of accomplishments is too long to list. But we're all on this journey together. And just because I may be the one steering the ship from time to time, doesn't mean I know where the winds of change will take us any more than you below deck do. And then it occurred to me, why speculate on the future when I can go out and grab it? So I built a time machine, brought back my future self from the year 2020. Now, of course, I'm still going to be bestowing upon you the few pearls of wisdom I may have gathered from the last 4 years. But that wisdom will be reinforced by the foreknowledge of my future self. So without further ado, let's get started. Oh, and apologies to Kurt Vonnegut for any similarities to his famous "wear sunscreen" speech. Great minds think alike.
Kurt Vonnegut didn't actually.
Wear sunglasses. Scientists have shown that sunglasses are critical in a bright climate. And fellow graduates, our future is bright.
Stock up on high-fat, high-protein, canned goods. You can survive for up to a year underground on a diet consisting solely of sardines, pickled cabbage, and peanut butter.
A formal education cannot fully prepare you for the real world. The best way to learn is to live.
Take a class in metallurgy.
Don't waste your life accumulating money.
Accumulate batteries and ammunition. They can be used as money.
Don't be trapped by other people's thinking. Listen to your inner voice. Don't become a zombie.
Don't become a zombie!
Live in New York once. Believe before it makes you hard. Live in Northern California once. Believe before it makes you soft.
Live in New York once. Leave before August 18, 2017.
Don't be reckless with other people's hearts. Don't put up with people who are reckless with yours.
Befriend people with type O blood.
Maybe you'll get married, maybe you won't, maybe you'll have children, maybe you won't, whatever happens. Don't congratulate or berate yourself too much.
Marriage will become obsolete once 99% of all humans are rendered infertile. Those few men who can still produce sperm will be kept in stud farms against their will. Freeze your sperm now! And keep it in an icebox powered by a generator running on an easily renderable fuel like diesel or ethanol.
Why don't you go ahead this time?
Watch out for moles, agents of the mutant underground civilization.
Watch out for moles, agents of the status quo who will try to drag you down.
No! Watch out for actual mutant moles, agents of the mutant underground civilization. Stop twisting my useful advice into meaningless platitudes.
Stop adjusting your plans to meet other people's limited expectations. Your dreams will scare some people. Don't listen to them.
Listen to me. Unless you help me collect enough cans and batteries to bribe my way into a stud farm, I, and therefore you, will almost certainly die a virgin.
Really?
Yes. So in conclusion, you cannot change the future, but you can change your attitude about the future by traveling back in time, which paradoxically will change the future, but not in any kind of meaningful way. Godspeed.